Yo, welcome to the Table Talk podcast, where we sit down, pull up a chair, and we get started. This podcast is designed to provide you packed full of information to help you with your training, nutrition, lifestyle, and well-being, where we interview myself through case studies to give you lifetime experience. And then we also interview high-performing individuals or other career-focused people who are looking to make changes in their lifestyle, training, nutrition, and well-being. So let's pull up that chair and let's go. First off on the podcast today is Kosta Drak. Now, you may be wondering why that took me some time to say. Well, don't worry, I put it in English translation and it also took its time to say. This man, obviously, someone who I met personally at an event run by Dan Henderson, the Elite Immersion, and it was in the Gold Coast. And this guy and myself both kind of started off a little bit quiet, reserved, and probably finding it a bit challenging to find the time to make it work, you know, how to organize our time, our schedules, so we could both obviously dominate in our areas and helping people change their lives in the health and fitness industry. Fast forward 3 months later, this guy literally went from, this is hard, this is a challenge, blew up, no excuses. It's literally like, here to help people, here to change their lives. I'm not going to hide who I am. I'm not going to pretend that, you should train with us one-to-one. Oh, it's okay. You want to do semi-private? Let's do semi-private. He was like, no, Monday to Sunday, 6 a.m. till 7 p.m. or 11 o'clock, doesn't matter. He's going to be on the call. They don't pick up. That's fine. He's ready to help people when they're ready to pick up. And, he asks for permission as well. So he went from someone who's, how do I schedule this, how do that, to then knowing exactly what to do. And it was really like wow, holy crap, 3 months, this guy's made a real turnaround. And at lunchtime, we just chatted, and fast forward after that, we're now on, we both have a pod call. So a pod call is where we are just savages to one another. We call each other out, think we can 10x, be better. And actually, this is the guy that I wanted to start a podcast in January. And he's like, mate, what the hell? It's February. Come on, step your game up. Let's organize the call. It's meant to be Friday, and unfortunately we had to adjust our schedule so we could both help more people in that day. And we started this call first thing Monday morning. So espresso's in. So who is Kosta? So a bit of a savage. So from just my interpretation and meeting of him, but he himself, he's a man who personally offers personal training. He does mobile PT, semi-private group training in a facility called 747. So he's the man that runs that ship. But he also offers business mentoring for personal trainers and other career individuals. His background is in martial arts. So when he was 14, started with a bit of boxing. And then literally that started his journey off to learn, evolve, and grow. In my own words, I would say. But here he says it was to enhance his knowledge and skills. So he's really come from an upbringing from a fighting background. So obviously has learned how to control and distill his thoughts. And if you're like, I'm not sure about that, check out 2011. There's a video of him. This video captures this guy in his element where, he's got his competitor in the ring. He's, the guy's getting in the zone. Costa's there, big smile on his face. He gets in the ring. He runs up to his opponent, gives him a fist pump, like, how you going, mate? And then he runs into his corner. Like, you don't see that in fighting. And it's really funny to watch because it summarizes who Kosta is. He gives people the time of day. If you need help, he's there. He's happy to chat, happy to work with you, but at the same time, he's not there to waste time. So if you're ready to make the change, he's there with you. So from his upbringing, from a fighting background to now opening his own facility, 747 Fitness in Melbourne, helping young athletes, people that have gotten the raw end of the stick or just can't, they just don't see a way out. He is the guy that's there ready to go. So, and, if you jump on his website, you can see all of his qualifications, his experience. It's scroll worthy. That means you have to scroll. You're going to need to get that mouse and that wheel working just so you can get all of what he has done. So I'm really excited to have this man on the podcast today, and I'm really excited to get into this. So let's dive in. Table Talk with Kosta Drak. And that is our introduction of Kosta Drak. Now, for those that are wondering, Carl, how did you say that word? You're not very good with the words. I did pull up the English dictionary translator, and I did use it several times. And it even had to slow itself down to be able to say that word. So, Costa, welcome to the Table Talk. How you going, man?
Good, brother. Good. I'm excited to be on this show with you and talking shop.
Talking shop. Probably also to be the first to pop the cherry, so it's probably even more exciting.
Perfect. Never forget me. Open that up.
So, I gave a quick intro of kind of how I remember meeting you, but Costa, what is your memory of me when we first met? Before we dive into these juicy questions.
Just that big loud guy that told everyone to shut that F up pretty much at Daniel Henderson's immersion when everyone wasn't listening to get back to their seats.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, they were like
Okay,
everyone's
everybody listen
chatting.
up. Holy shit, where did that voice come from? I was told.
Yeah, you turn next to me.
And
Shut
after
up.
that, after that, we just got on like a house on fire. So it was all good.
Oh, that's funny. Um, So one of the things that I briefly touched on about your introduction was pod talks. So those that are kind of wondering what is a pod talk, it's where we hold each other accountable. Well, I like to think I hold Costa accountable, but really he's holding the team accountable. How would you summarize a pod call, and you've done you've done this immersion coaching mentoring program for a lot longer than me. How long have you been doing it for, and how's it been going for you?
Yeah, good. I've been part of Dan Henderson's elite the elite for a year now, and I've done three immersions. So last year I went to all three, so Sydney, Brisbane, and obviously Melbourne, where I'm from.
Yeah. And what have you found most enjoyable out of that? Like, is it the pod talks? Is it the immersion?
Yeah, look, the immersions are good. Surround yourself with like-minded people, which is great. And other business owners there as well. As we know, like business can get lonely as well. People don't want to share ideas, and a lot of people hold back. When you speak to other gym owners because they think like you're a threat or a competition. But when you all come together with elite, everybody just tells you what's working, what's not working. So we all bounce ideas off each other.
Yeah, right. So Dan Henderson Elite Coaching 1 year. And Sydney's coming up. You excited?
Yeah, I'm pumped. You're recording this, yeah?
Yeah.
Have you started?
Yeah.
It's kind of gone like, I'm like, okay, didn't get it.
Hey, we just start the banter. That's how we roll. And we just get straight into it. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, welcome to Table Talk, Costa. We're sitting at a table, anything goes, it's free reign. We obviously have some questions for you. Um, So let's go. So one of the things that we do at Table Talk is we really just keep it simple to start with, and then we'll dive deeper into what it is. So for those that are listening, how would you summarize yourself, mate?
Um, Easy going, um, have a good laugh, good banter. Just that's pretty much it, really. Hardworking.
That's you outside of work, but what do you like once it's go time?
Work. I bring the energy, man. I bring the vibe. When it's time to work, when it's time to turn it up in the gym, you just got to bring it. People. Obviously, me and you're both in the health and fitness. So every time I'm in the gym, you just got to create that vibe, and you got to
Yeah,
bring it and make people feel safe. People feel secure. They feel empowered as well, and they get a really good, really work out whatever the fitness goals are, and just bring people up.
and the energy. How do you stay on top of that? So like with business, there's ups and downs.
Of
Um,
course.
some people have their daily meditations, daily routines. Like myself, I jump on a trampoline 5 minutes every day, get in a peak state. Is there anything that you do in the morning or nighttime as a routine that helps you stay focused or stay on track?
I wouldn't really say routine, but I work out. I go for runs. I think that helps me out a lot. Um, you know, Probably got that a lot more from Jack Smith from our pods as well. He just runs like a maniac.
Yeah,
So it just feels keeps me more on track, to be honest. And obviously we know like we promote exercise and how much it helps. So we have to exercise ourselves and lead by example as well.
yeah. And you've just started running?
No, no, I've been running since my fighting days for like 14, 15 years, but obviously I'm not competing anymore. In any fighting. So obviously just to keep fit, I do that and I try pump out a couple of gym sessions as well. But that wouldn't be more in the morning routine. That would be more like 11, 12 o'clock when I've done probably the most important tasks in the morning, and get ready for like my meetings with my staff or whatever I need to do. And then obviously our downtime is pretty much from 11 till 3. So obviously I try to get a workout around there. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't really say I've got a morning routine. It's more comes on later on in the day.
So your morning routine is just to get laser focused on work, get the biggest thing moving, and then yourself.
Yeah, yeah. Look, I just always write down and do like a brain dump pretty much at the end of every day, and just see and just if someone says something to me, one of my workers, I wanted to improve on this or improve on that, write it down and actually just come up with different scenarios and how we can actually keep the needle moving forward at all times.
Yeah. Okay. And what are the three biggest things you're working on at the moment?
Mate, to be honest, we're looking at just really structuring our business for everybody to easily navigate more from a staff. So working on more staff portals as well. So everybody's on, very clear on their roles. And if they feel stuck, we've got a few interns, that are coming under our wing as well in the gym. So we want to provide, and they're, pretty much leaving their gyms where they're working to come learn off us and hopefully provide them an opportunity later on. But if we don't, they're well equipped, to be able to run off with it and then be able to be successful in the industry and not get burnt early days.
Okay, so a lot of focus around staff upskill and development.
Yeah, that's all we're really focusing and just more systemizing everything as well, just to make it really easy and delegating, from to the head coach and to the trainer that takes the morning shift and just make sure everybody's on the same page and everybody's moving together.
Yeah. And what about the people at 747, your facility? Because you do a lot of athletic development, one-to-ones and group sessions. So you're focused on the staff upskill, and how do you then also focus on the support for the customers and the development, or do you empower your other
Yeah,
guys to do that?
yeah, no, definitely. So we have coaches that run sessions alongside me every night. So I pretty much, I sit there and I deal with the client check-ins. If there's anything that comes up that needs to be fixed, just members, working around their injuries, programming, and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, so you still stay involved in the business. Very nice. So, mate, it's nothing
Yeah,
you
so
can't do.
every night I'm in the business every night. So I'm there. We've got obviously a couple of coaches in the morning that pretty much look after that. I handle a lot of the consults and all that. But at night we've got all group sessions. So I'm there every night with the other coaches. So if I'm not taking it, or if the other coach is taking it, I'm always there, giving them feedback and notes so they can keep improving and leveling up as well.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, cool. Any challenges? I guess, myself with the team, there's always challenges in the sense of you have your standard and you're always looking to bring that team to that standard. And from what you sound like you're doing is you bring a lot of upskill development to anyone that's, if anyone's doing an internship, looking for a career, you literally can help them from the ground up. What challenges with your own standards versus when they start, what have you found to be a big challenge with bringing those people up?
A lot of them are very shy. When they first come into the environment, they don't know how to, you know, come on board they don't know how to, they don't get it. They don't understand they don't understand the difference, probably most importantly, between small group training, big group training, and one-on-one training. So I think they treat everybody the same. So obviously, when you've got a small group, you've got a big group, and you got a one-on-one, win a big group, you got to bring more energy, you got to bring more motivation, you got to keep it more simple with coaching techniques and cues. But when you go one-on-one, you can be a little bit more technical with your clients. So I think a lot of them don't know the difference between that. So we're trying to navigate that and give them tools that can help them and be so, they can adapt to different situations that they're in.
Yeah. Have you always done this style, like big group to small to one-to-one?
Yeah, I've always offered that, like since day one. Like if someone wants to do personal training because they don't feel comfortable, But then obviously when we do the consultations, Carl, we just tell people what they need to hear. So like if someone's got injury, X, Y, and Z, mate, you can't do group. It's more of a liability for us to have you there. So if you're coming back from an ACL, you need more structure. It needs to be one-on-one.
Yeah.
If someone comes someone needs to improve on this and you need that special attention. If someone's going for a pro contract and all that sort of stuff, they need to be treated a little bit more different to the people that are doing, the small group and have different goals.
Yeah. Well, and that's from Monday to Sunday. There's no 168 hours a week.
Yeah, that's well, guys. Obviously, we've got different coaches that look after, different departments of it. So yeah, depends if it fills in people's in our staff schedules, and then we'll make it work around them.
Yeah. And you're currently, from what I can see on your site, you're currently a team of 7, but obviously growing. Or is there more?
Nah, look, we just want to have good people, to be honest with you. If people are lined up with our values and what we want to achieve, and if we're on the same page, and you know, that's it. Like, we don't train any bodybuilders in our gym. We don't get people ready for stage. So if people come to me like specifically for that, I pretty much have to tell them that I can't really help you go down that avenue. So that we pretty much weed them out early if they don't want to belong in the environment and what we do.
Full transparency. That's
Have
a
to,
that's a
have
pro
to be
card
correct.
there, mate.
What's that?
That email, that's just someone just inquiring about your internship who wants to be a bodybuilder.
Yeah, that's right. That's you.
No wonder I'm not allowed in Melbourne.
Yeah, you're staying in Sydney.
um, there's one thing that you do is a bit of business and career mentoring. So you've built out these portals, you're supporting your staff, you're supporting customers as well, and then you're also pretty much from day one very transparent with your customers and also prospective trainers. Is so we'll stay on the career focus for PTs because a large part of this is people that, a lot of people in careers or running businesses that think it's sometimes it's a bit hard. So is there anything that you see as a misconception from I finished my Cert 4 and now I want to work for someone like Kosta? Is there something that you said they're shy, but is there something that is being done incorrectly in your opinion or wrong that you really think should be changed?
Yeah, look, you got to do the shit to get the good, as they say. And what I've realized is a lot of them think because look, your Cert 3 and 4 is your bare minimum to get into the industry. So once they get qualified, and let's be honest, half these courses are bullshit anyway. Like, they're doing them online. How can you become a personal trainer online when it's actually a face-to-face interaction or you're dealing with people face-to-face? So you pretty much don't have any experience like that. And they think because they've got a sheet of paper, they need to get paid straight away and then get paid well. When you've actually haven't achieved anything, you haven't got anybody in the result, you've never dealt with anyone. So the way I see it is the way we do it is you've got to be able to do like an internship and actually learn the ropes and have a bit of bulletproof, behind you that you say, hold on, you're like this. I have gotten someone to achieve results like yourself. And I think that's the biggest problem. And I get a lot of people come to me and the first question is like, how much? It's like, it's not about how much like I'm paying. It's what have you done?
Mm.
Where have you been? You've been a personal trainer for 3 months and you've gotten 2 clients. Like, you don't have any results behind it. You don't have the experience. So it's like, hold on, take a step back. Like us, we do an internship. Like, um, like we don't pay them for that. And they come into our gym and they shadow us. But it's like you need to learn the ropes. You need to learn what actually really works in the real world. You can go and do your course, and a lot of them do their course, but it's like, what do you know? Like, what have you actually put to work?
And a lot of it's 1 hour a day versus how we met, which is a full immersion, 3 days, 10, 12 hour
Yeah.
day straight up.
A lot of them don't understand that, especially the young ones. They think, okay, cool, I'm qualified. Let's go get work. And the way, PT schools price it up, they go, okay, cool, like you're going to go charge $90 to $100 an hour. The way I said it's $90 to $100 an hour for what? You shouldn't be starting it at that rate. You truly haven't got any results with anyone before. How about you go and learn that? But when they tell you that, everybody gets that idea in their head and going, okay, cool. Charge $100 an hour. I'll do 3, 4 clients in the morning, especially like the younger generation. Cool. I'll work from like 8 till 12. I'll make $400. Honestly, because I've had these conversations
What
with
is
it.
what's 5 a.m.? Huh?
Nah, like they'll tell you, you choose your own hours. PT schools, choose your hours, do whatever you want. Eight till and they go 8 till 12, beautiful 4 hours, and think about how they're going to go play sport in the evenings with all their mates, and then they get into the real world and they go, holy shit, I'm just on a 12-month contract at this gym and I'm paying rent and I've only got like one client. They're scratching their head, and then they're always asking me for an exit. Like, how do I get out of this contract? Well, you shouldn't have signed it in the first place if you truly don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that is.
And that's the biggest problem. And that's when they go into it, and then they pay out the contract and they pay their rental base, and then they don't want to be in the industry anymore. And half of them, like I've tried to save a few, but they get burned so hard they don't want to see the fitness industry again. And for me, it's like, sort of the young ones that come and intern for me, like if they want to be in the industry for those reasons, if they want to help people and they genuinely want to be in the fitness industry, like I'll help them out as much as we can, because we need more good people in the fitness industry, because I don't think we have enough good people. That's what I
Mm,
personally think. I think we've got too many people that just worry about money, and we all have to make a living, but you got to do the right thing. You got to do the right thing by the client. You got to serve them as you can, and most importantly, what we look for in our staff and the interns that we take on is care. So you just make sure they have their care factor for their clients. And that's what we've done pretty well in the business, because that's like my number one rule. Like, you got to care for them. And it's not the gym session that happens inside the gym. It's about the follow up. It's what they're doing away from it. Like, are they good? Are they on track with their nutrition? Are they on track with their sleep? Are they, constantly leveling up away from us? And it's like, yeah, all right, clients are going to come, clients are going to go, but can you leave them in a better place you found them?
mm, yeah, 100%. Making sure you care for people and spread the word, help change lives.
And that's what it's all about.
But I like that. Have you left them in a better place than where they were? So even if they're only with you for a month, it's like, cool, that's fine. But are they still moving forward, rather than, what you're saying, trainers are going, wanting to charge 100, no experience. There's probably a higher risk of injury there. They start training someone, a month later, they're broken. And now it's like, they're actually not better off. They're actually worse. But with yours,
That's
you're
right.
taking that care approach, 100%.
Yeah, and then we've got staff reviews as well. We've got clients, and looking at their journeys, where they wanted to start with their goals, and where are they in 3 months' time through their body scans, analysis, their lifting, as well. Are they getting better? Are they getting stronger? Are they getting fitter? And then that's how we analyze everyone. And it's like, if they don't get the results, like, what have we done wrong as a team?
Mm.
We always look at ourselves first. Can we give that person more support throughout the process?
Have you always been like that? Or have
Always.
you had like mentors in the past? So as you said, you just want to mentor and nurture those people, the right ones. Have you had any role models in your upbringing that have really inspired you to kind of be this way? Or has your fighting career kind
Not
of
really.
nurtured that?
Now, to be honest with you, like, when I finished my cert 3 and 4, going back like 14, 15 years ago, I went and did a few job interviews. But man, like, every time I went to these job interviews, there was always like something that just didn't feel right with me. So, like, I went to one and they're like, you can't, like, the first thing I did was like, okay, if you sell this amount, you'll get paid this much, and you must sell this. So it's like very sales driven. It wasn't like people orientated. And the other one, and then like a few of the other ones, like, you got to do X, Y, and Z, and do this and do this, like, go through all these hurdles, but there was no guarantee or any promise that I'll have a job.
Yeah.
So like a lot of things like that, and I went in other gyms, like 24-hour gyms, and obviously when you're training as a young kid, but I could tell there's no care for them. You're just another number. So I've always wanted to be that different, because like my gym is not very small. I've got someone else that runs their business out of there as well, out of my facility. So I just wanted to keep it very small and then keep it compacted, because people feel safe. So I've always been like that. I want people to come in and be part of an ego-free environment where everybody gets along regardless of your fitness goals. So I've always been like that. So I want everyone to feel safe, man, and supported. Because how many people are scared to walk into the gym? That's all very different. So with especially my facility, we actually don't let people work out by themselves. We don't have any of that. So it's not a 24-hour service. It's by booking only. And if you don't have a booking, and if you want to do your own lifting, you must have a program from us, and you must be able to demonstrate that program, and be able to complete it 100% if you're to do it in your own time. which is going to take you at least 6 months to be with us before you even get a program.
Okay, that's cool. It's kind
Yeah,
of
so we're very thorough like that. People go, I want to come in and do my own thing. I'm like, well, you don't know what you're doing. Like, what are you trying to achieve? Cool, let's sit down. And then what we do as well is we just change a lot of people's, perspective on it. They're like, oh wow, so what I'm doing there is not going to carry over. I'm like, no, doing your biceps and triceps is not going to help you carry over to your sporting performance. And then
whoa, hang on. What do you mean training arms is not going to help performance?
maybe just for
What?
you, maybe
Oh.
maybe maybe just for you with your bicep kills.
What's funny you say that because I used to train arms like all the time, but train through full range of motion because that's what I thought you had to do. And when I stopped doing it, started doing a lot more powerlifting and sports work, I actually started getting shoulder issues. So I was like, hmm. So training arms correctly to align with that, I would say helps.
Yeah, look, but as we know, like the carryover from a bicep curl and a tricep
Yeah,
pushback compared to your big squat or your deadlift or your RDL or your hip hinging and all that sort of stuff, it's two
correct.
different things.
Yeah, you wouldn't do. It's like it's not 30 sets of arms. It might be like 2 sets of incline curls to get that full stretch through the bicep head to
Yeah,
work the posture. Yeah,
yeah, that's exactly right. And a lot of them come in and they think that, okay, cool, I'll start off with biceps and then move down and do random stuff. But even doing an order, like your power movement first, followed by your strength movement, followed by your isolation and correctives, and then finish off with your bro workouts, as I say.
the correctives or remedial lifts. So, well, just on your programming. So summary. We've got a system for our trainers. We've got a system for our clients. Our clients have to prove themselves that they are worthy of these programs, at least in your experience, is about 6 months. And you have a very tailored service that
Yeah,
can
that's
vary.
exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. But things vary. Like if people have lifted before in the past with a good coach and they demonstrate they could lift, and or if another coach has sent them over to me, then we're not in a good way. They can pretty much. But starting with us from scratch, yeah, you got to be able to prove yourself in our group training facility, in our group training, and making sure that you're up for it.
Yeah. So and then so we had power movements, you had isolations, and then like your correctives or your bro stuff if you wanted to at the end of your program.
So the way we break it down, because obviously we've got a
Yep.
lot of athletes. You always start off with your SMR, like your foam rolling. Then we're going to your activation / correctives, mobility, movement prep, and then we'll go through. If there's a power exercise in there, because obviously we know that's what we want to get done first when you're really fresh. Like a box jump or a throw, and then after that we're going to a strength movement. Your big compound. It could be a bench, a squat, a deadlift. It just depends what day, how many days a week they're training. And after we do that, we go down their single leg work or more specific stuff, and then we finish off if they're going to do some buys or tries, and then some top up conditioning if they need it. It just depends of where they're at and what their goals are. And
Yeah.
then, of course, as well, if they want to finish off with that, we'll just put that at the end of their program. But then again, we just really want to tailor into the individual and wherever they're at. If they're on a weight loss journey, if they're on a sporting performance, if they're on a maintenance phase for their sporting performance, we just do everything. We treat everybody individual. So that's what I'm saying. We're not a 24-hour service. We actually want to get to know everyone and what they want to achieve.
Yeah. Well, with that, so like if we do a case study right now, you've got, because you deal with a lot of athletes, so obviously their career is the sport. We have, if you're playing with your rugby players, your FL, let's say they've done something to their rotator cuff, like most Gen Pop as well. They get a lot of shoulder issues. Are
Yeah.
you changing this layout that you have, or are you just going, look, we need to probably spend a little more time in your correctives before we get into these power movements?
Look, it just all depends. Like we're along with a few physios. So if they get like an impingement or something wrong, obviously my role is not to diagnose injuries. I just send them out to my physio that I've aligned myself with. I said, look, go see him. Go see what's wrong. They send me an email of what they've seen, and then we work all together as a unit.
Surround the dragon. Love it.
That's has to be done. We've got to be in a good team. So it's like I can't fix everything, and I'm not going to sit there and be like every other PT. No, I know what's wrong with you, and then like make them worse. It's like, hold on, let's refer out. Let's get that right. Let's get everybody being at 100%. And I'm always 100% transparent, even with the parents, of the kids that I train the youth on. Like, you have to go see him so I can have a look at this. So I can continue working with them. And like, oh, you can't fix it. I'm like, well, that's not my role. And SNC's role is not to diagnose the injury.
Just to get them strong. As
stronger, more powerful, more, like just improve their sporting performance, and then, work with a good team. And I think that's all had good success because I've aligned myself with really good people, allied health. We can all work together as a unit.
Yeah. Do you have any, in your 15 years of doing this, is there any person you've worked with or experience you've had that's really like just resonated with you, that's kind of stood the test of time, that you continue to tell people about and really brings a smile to your face?
Mate, to be honest, there's about 4 or 5 of them at the moment that are playing professionally. On the biggest stage in Australia, which is pretty cool. But what it is, it's like me and you both know, it's just consistency. They weren't the most talented. They were talented, but they weren't the most talented from what they had in their squads and the people that were around them. But man, they just kept chipping away. And I love that, because even with me, like, they just showed up. It's like they showed up to sessions with me when they couldn't be bothered. It's like us, we show up to things because we know we have to get it done to be better business owners, to be better people. So for me, it's like, cool, man, they've stayed the course. They've never taken the easy way out. But as we know, the ones that are the most talented, and they know they're talented, are the most laziest ones. And they're the ones that I've had, the ones that always drop off the quickest.
Yeah, wow. So you just
Because they
love
don't
the
want to
most
work.
consistent ones
Yeah,
that work.
and I just think consistency, that's in life, it just trumps everything. If you stay the course of something, and it doesn't matter how bad you fail, one day it will just click and it'll work.
Or yeah, just like in our pod talk at the moment, where we're seeing we've got the consistency and we're slowly doing this, and we've noticed that a lot of businesses around us are actually up for sale now, and equipment.
No,
Because
me
they
and
just
you, back, we talk, and then we just see what's going on. It's like, if you're not evolving, if you're not changing, if you're not upskilling, if you're not leveling up, you kind of get left behind. So now more than ever, you've got to kind of be always just looking to how can you better our service.
Yeah.
And that's all we're.
So on that, because we're part of an elite. So if anyone's interested, check out Dan Henderson, Elite Immersion. If he would like to, sponsor this podcast, you're more than welcome, mate. That's one thing that you do mentoring. You've got pod talks with groups of people to upskill and learn, chats. Is there anything else that you're doing to stay up to date and relevant with the industry? Or I probably wouldn't say industry, because it's probably not on the same playing field as from what you're doing. You're providing that care, and trainers are going, I want $200,000 a year, and you're like, nah, mate. So who or what are you doing to stay relevant with yourself to keep growing and moving forward? So
More just about, like, especially in the business and all that sort of stuff. It's like, how do we systemize everything? And like my head coach, like, big shout out to Romeo, like, he loves back end stuff and putting things together. Like, he came on board with
back
me.
end stuff, eh? Oh.
Yeah, that's right.
Business systems. Business systems.
And he came on board in COVID. And like, obviously in COVID, we were working out of parks, working online. So obviously when we came back, everything was a bit like up in the air. But so now obviously, we've been open for quite a while. It's like, cool, how do we, streamline everything just to make it easier, from coaches to interns to everything that's on board to clients? Like, how do we make the experience with them and the experience with us just more systemized?
Okay, so you're using the elite, using the pod talks, and really just now using the team that you've built to back and forth off one another to keep improving, rather than most people are like, oh, there's something else out there I've got to find. I've got to look up a different YouTube video, or I've got to talk to someone else to get the secret sauce. You've actually one or two people, and then you've actually now built a team that you can bounce those ideas off to improve.
Yeah, look, and like, we've got two. I run 2 meetings in my gym. So like, one with me, our other head coach, and one of the other coaches that's really leveled up over the last year. there's like part one, and then we just talk about what we can do to improve. And then we obviously go back to the interns and then the assistant coaches. And we just said, what's working, what's not working, what do you think is improving? Because the way I see it, it's like I want everyone that works for me to have their own input in. And even with their training as well, I want them to have their own way. So it's like, what do you think we need? What do you think you've seen the last week that hasn't worked? Or what do you think we need to improve on? So if someone brings something to the table, then I let them run with it as well. So I love for people to grow as well, not just, to grow just for me, but grow for themselves, and then they can create something within the business as well.
Yeah, love it. So reflecting, asking how we can improve. What is one thing that Kosta feels he can, or what's one thing you feel you can improve on or you're currently working on at the moment?
I need to improve on delegating. Yeah, like straight up. Just, being like a reflection. I try to do everything myself.
Just hire 10 VAs right now. Do it. Just go for it.
After the protocol, after the call that you put me on, I'm like, holy shit, what's going on here? Let's
You
either be
need 10
random people.
specialists. Just go.
Yeah,
Just
that's
go.
right. Just get everyone in. Yeah, just more about me actually, like, delegating and giving people more of a role, and actually explain that role to them more in depth, because I know, like, obviously in business we know what we do, but obviously, to grow and then help other people grow and give them a little bit more responsibility, we've got to actually write down the steps how we do it, and they can roll with it and support them as best as they can, as long as they want to do that.
Yeah. Given pretty much from what you've been saying since the beginning, provide that care, which is what you're doing, building portals. So it's taking the guesswork out so people can succeed rather than going, yeah, awesome.
Yeah, yeah, just, and the way I've kind of gone down that path too, I've just listened to a lot of the interns that have come on board. Like one kid came in, he's interning with us at the moment. Like he's been shot in his workplace. He pretty much got
Literally?
told not.
Like,
No, that was more from you. Um, so just more about like supporting him, because he goes, I got told not to run any console. I just got told to train him straight out. So it was like,
yeah.
yeah. So yeah.
Oh,
So I'm just like, man, like, I don't want them to get that bad taste in the mouth, and they don't ask the right questions at the start, and then clients don't want to be with them or any of that sort of stuff. So we don't want that to happen.
yeah. You don't walk into a doctor's office and they're like, all right, pants down. Oh! They're more
Yeah,
like,
that's right. Oh, straight in the back room, mate. Let's go get you fixed. I don't even know what's wrong with you.
my tooth hurts. Oh, fingers
That's
up.
I'll fix it now.
That's the dentist. Yeah, like you look at any professional, they'll tell you, oh, espresso. Mate, that's a bit delayed. Espresso there, but that's all right.
Nah, I had another one before we started to get that G up before
Yeah.
your Zoom come down on me.
But yeah, look at any it's funny, right? You look at any professional, accountant, lawyer, doctor, surgeon, they're going to take the time to get to know what's going on, x-rays, proof, to make sure that what they're going to do is the right thing. Where a lot of PTs are just
That's because there's no barrier entry to our industry, which is bullshit. You can pretty much get the qualification at the back of a cornflakes box. Straight up.
Mate, mine was Frosties because it was great.
Yeah, no, I thought you were going to say Nutrigrain because of your sugar hits.
Well, yeah, I used to do the Nutrigrain a lot. Iron Man.
Yeah, that's right. Put an Iron Man on the label and everyone thinks you're going to have that for breakfast. You'll become a powerhouse.
Mate, I'll tell you what, it was a thing. Now it's steak and nuts. What do you do for breakfast, actually?
Pardon?
What do you do for breakfast?
Man, I'm just on this kind of, I'm on this diet, so I'm really having 3 boiled eggs, a cup of spinach every morning.
Working?
Pardon?
Working for you?
Yeah, I feel better. I feel like I've got more energy out of it to about 11, 12 o'clock, and then have another coffee, get you back up for 3, 4 hours, and then eat again.
Disclaimer, coffee is not food.
Yeah, that's right. Just an energy boost for us, probably more in the mental brain.
That's great. Well, Kosta, it was great having you on, man. I know we'll be doing
Thank
more
you,
of
brother.
these.
Yeah.
How do people get in touch with you? What's the best way? Someone's like, oh, I've been shot, I've had a bad experience in my gym, or I really want to work with a coach who just doesn't give me a program, but actually makes sure I'm crossing the I's, dotting the T's to move forward, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
Mate, Facebook, Instagram, Kosta Drak. You can go on my website, www.747fitness.com.au, and you can put an inquiry in. I'll try and get back to you as quick as I can. And then help out.
And of course, subject, I saw you on Table Talk. Can I have your signature first, of course?
That's right. Then obviously Carl will get a kickback, so it's all good.
Yeah, kick in the face.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, legend. And we'll table that talk for the next time. Enjoy.
Boom.
Hey, thanks so much for joining the episode of Table Talk today. We hope you found some helpful tips and inspiration in staying healthy and fit, even with a busy schedule. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast. Stay tuned for our next conversation. Until then, keep prioritizing yourself, your health, your fitness, and we'll see you on the next Table Talk.